We're all in such a rush to be this ideal version of ourselves, of our avatar, of this main character. And we're so hard on ourselves for not being that person yesterday. But what I've really come to realize is that everything takes time. And life is this beautiful, confusing, unpredictable journey that you just have to lean into. Welcome to Life is the Game, hosted by yours truly, Alexandra Nicole Stone. Get ready to uncover the secrets to mastering your destiny, becoming the main character in your life, and embracing a life filled with meaning and joy. Ready? Let's play. Hello and welcome to Life is the Game. I'm your host, Alexandra Nicole Stone, and I'm super excited for today's episode because it's a very special main character update because it's my birthday. Well, the bad thing about birthdays are if you're not in a good place, it could kind of make you feel like you're getting older. But the good thing about birthdays is that it kind of offers you a chance to review the last year of your life. And it's honestly something I've started doing maybe in the last 6 months or so, where I did the unbirthday, which was December 4th. And now it's my birthday on June 4th. And so I started to review basically everything that's sort of happened in the last year. And the funny thing is, I'm someone who journals a lot. I've been journaling daily for the last 2.5 years. And when you're reading these entries from the last couple of years and you hear yourself talking, and I hear myself saying things like, oh, okay, I want to publicly speak. I want to start a podcast. I want to start my own business, all these things. And those at that time seem like such a far off thing. But the crazy thing is, it's not that far off because it's happening now. And so what I wanted to focus on for this episode specifically is the journey that we all go on in life. We're all in such a rush to be this ideal version of ourselves, of our avatar, of this main character. And we're so hard on ourselves for not being that person yesterday. But what I've really come to realize is that everything takes time. And life is this beautiful, confusing, unpredictable journey that you just have to lean into. And the reason I've developed this concept of living life as a game, and I really haven't developed, it's nothing new, but the reason I'm trying to preach and make this concept so important is because when you look at your life as a game, that journey that you go on in your life becomes acceptable, tolerable, enjoyable. It really should be enjoyable. But when you're doing things and when you have really high expectations for yourself, it's kind of hard to pump the brakes and realize all the great accomplishments you've done. For example, I thought sometime this year I had my goals for 2024 that I've written down last year, and it included something like writing a book, giving a TEDx. It included the podcast. I accomplished that, or starting to do that, public speaking, getting paid to public speak. So there's all these huge lists that you write for yourself, agencies, starting your own business, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing that I've come to learn is that there's also all these unexpected things, like going to Peru. That was not on my list for goals in 2024. And that was a transformational experience that just completely changed my life and actually prepared me for everything that's to come now. Leaving my job felt like maybe more of an ambition than something that I would actually do. But because of the situation and the circumstance of our company getting laid off and me deciding to not move forward with my parent company, but deciding to go on my own, that was unplanned. That was off the script. We are off-roading. That's a side quest that I didn't plan for this year right now. Falling in love. That's something that I didn't have planned at all, but I think I spent maybe for the last 3 months and even today and even this month, I'm constantly being enamored by my love relationship with my partner. And those are the things that you can't plan for. And there's even bad things that you can plan for. I had maybe plans to be a speaker 5 years ago, and I got attacked and I got chronically ill, and I had all these things happen to me which pumped the brakes on them. The thing is that I never lost sight of my mission. So my dearest players, remember that it's about the journey, not the destination. Let me be the testimony for that. because when you're living life, it doesn't feel like you've done all that much. But when you sit back and reflect on what you've accomplished, you realize it's so much. In this last year, I did a TEDx training with my mentor. I wrote all of this content for Life is the Game. It became sort of the cornerstone. It became my thing. It became the thing that I felt confident that I knew I had a story to tell for a really long time. But going through that rigorous process over last year and giving the talk that I wrote on living life as a game prepared me for this podcast. It prepared me for everything that I'm doing now. And it's providing me with a philosophy in which I can navigate life and live it authentically to me. In addition to that, I went to Peru, which was completely unscripted. It was unplanned for. My acupuncturist told me I should go, and I was like, you know what? I need to take a vacation. I went. That was so important for me because that journey, that trip to Peru showed me that I'm brave. I learned that I'm way braver and more capable than I ever thought that I was. And I didn't think that I was brave when I went there, but it was only the feedback that people were giving, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you went by yourself. And I was like, you know what? I am a badass. Yeah, I planned a trip on my own because nobody wanted to go with me. And I went and I did these crazy ceremonies and I spent 3 days with a shaman and I did that on my own. And it was so fun and I would totally do it again. But coming back from that experience, I felt so empowered. I was like, okay, well, if I could do this by myself, what else can I do by myself? And it made me realize that all these things that we think that we cannot do are within our reach. We just have to try them. And the thing is, like, you learn to do the things that you didn't think that you can do just by doing them. Okay? 6 months ago, I wasn't a podcaster. Today, I am. Hey, I'm 2 months in. That's pretty solid. And every single episode is getting better. So that is something to celebrate. You have to believe in yourself. You are the main character. And life is all about you. Nobody else. Not your friends, not your family, not your partner, not your ancestors. It's about you. Your life is all about you. And I'm not saying be selfish, but you have to be selfish enough to do things in your life for you. I don't think if I didn't go to Peru that I may have the strength to start the podcast when I did, or maybe I don't even know if the right word is saying not having the strength, but if I didn't take the risk to go to Peru and have this sort of transformational experience and see who I would become at the end of it and then come back here to my day job, to reality, right? And if I didn't go through this amazing transformative experience where I realized that nothing is worth our suffering and that I realized that my full potential, my higher self, my main character, Fearless Tigress, the potential, the powerful, beautiful person that is extremely capable, that person is existing within me. And when I'm living this reality where I felt that my daily experience, my day life, my day job, that the way that I was sitting at this desk 9 to 5 wasn't aligning with my higher purpose, wasn't aligning with my mission of creating a chain reaction of goodness, I knew that I had to do something different. I knew that at least I had to start the podcast. I had to start actioning some of these things that I had been saying to myself for such a long time because I deserve that and I'm worthy of doing those things that I've been saying for such a long time that I would do. Something else, I think I was talking about patience, but I ended up on a rant on believing in yourself. I remember the goals that I set for myself before. I'm going to author a book. I'm going to talk. I'm going to do a podcast. I'm realizing I'm being humbled by life and realizing that things took time. And even the behind the scenes to this moment where you see me right now, it took 5 years of like rehabilitation from trauma and self-work and reading books, creating boundaries for myself where I realized that just because I can do a lot of things or just because someone asks you to do something and you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. So it's this whole process of like creating boundaries, reinventing myself, loving myself. Instead of filling a void inside of me with other things or people, I created nothing but love within myself. And all of those things, all of those years of preparation, all that time, I felt so impatient. I was thinking, okay, when the heck is this life that I have in my mind going to start manifesting? Because I'm like, I'm doing all the right things. I'm meditating in the morning. I'm working out. I'm journaling. I'm writing affirmations. And this is 5 years of doing that stuff. Okay. I'm going to therapy. I'm doing the mentor stuff. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to. I'm not burning out anymore. I'm sleeping a lot. So I kept waiting. When is the right time? When is this going to happen? But the thing is, like, you don't realize that you have to go through those incubation period. Like, those parts are so essential. Then, as your life ramps up and you have the capacity and the strength to do more, you start asking yourself, like, what are my values, right? Because I burned out before, and now I'm like, okay, I really value leisure time. I like to chill. It's okay to value leisure time. You shouldn't feel guilty for it. I value spending time with my friends and family. These are all those values, things that I value. I value spending time with my partner. Knowing those things about myself, those became sort of healthy boundaries, which I would set. So I wouldn't take on too many opportunities because I didn't want to burn out again. And I didn't want the segments of my day, the time that I would spend with all my friends and family, or the time that I would have with myself, to disappear just because I wanted to do more things. And all of these things help prepare you for the right moment. This is a really long birthday rant, but I just really want to say thank you for everybody who's been listening. Thank you to my friends, my family. Thank you to all the random people that I've met that have become so supportive of me, that have become guests on my podcast or future guests. It's so crazy because the more people I meet, they're like, I believe in you. I can do it. Even now, when I'm leaving my job and I'm building something new, I'm building an agency, I'm building a marketing agency, I'm doing branding, I'm doing contract work, I'm doing a podcast, I'm trying to figure out social media, I'm trying to figure out all these things that are so new to me. I have not a huge plan, I don't have a huge amount of savings, I'm just sort of doing it. But the thing is, like, everyone who is close to me in my life, and or everyone who's been with me on this journey, is saying that I believe in you. So thank you so much. And even though I'm doing this for me, knowing that I have so many people like listening and counting on me makes me want to show up even more. I'm like, you know what? Not only do I have to do this, but I have to do this in such an awesome way, because there's a whole crowd of people supporting me. And 28, that's my age. 28 feels so good and feels so fulfilling because I'm living a life that's authentic to me and nobody else. And I'm living life as a game, and I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And every day I'm getting closer and closer to that avatar, like fearless tigress, or I am her. Every day I'm fearing less and doing more and just trying and figuring it out. And that's so incredible. And the more I'm doing these things, the more I share my story, the more I share the stories of other people, it fills me up with life. It fills me up with joy. So I have no idea what's in store for me for the next month, for the next year. I have a plan, and I'm going to show up and I'm going to try, but I'm the happiest. Life right now is most uncertain point. I don't know what's going to happen next month. I don't even know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, but I'm so excited. It's like when you're playing a video game and you just start out. I really feel like I'm only on level 2. Let's call this like month 2 of the podcast. This is only level 2. I'm just starting out. I don't have a map. I have some loose guidance, but there's no directions. So I'm just here exploring this world, seeing what happens. I'm so grateful for my network. I'm grateful for all my supporters, and for anybody listening out there. Just do the thing, okay? Whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, do the thing. Yes, there are some nights where I wake up and I'm stressed out. I don't know how things are going to work out because I'm a control freak, but that's going to happen. But let me tell you, most of the time, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling incredible. I'm feeling like now there's no boundaries for my creativity, because everything is an opportunity and everything can be my art. I am in this state of creation. And so 28 this year is all about creation. And I'm so excited about what I'm going to create and about what we're going to create together. So whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, my dear players, do it, because you're going to feel incredible about it. I promise. It's not worth asking yourself, what if? Okay? That's something else that I've learned. Everything that I've put on hold up until this moment, I could have probably done 6 months ago or a year ago. I'm not beating myself up for not doing it, but every year that you don't do the thing that you're thinking about doing, it's going to get harder and harder to do. So you just have to seize the day, okay? You got to get that hardcore carpe diem and stop and ask yourself, what would I do if my life was a game? Ready? Let's play.